was happy that this chapter answered some much needed questions because with Unknown, I was so confused if like how exactly he quote unquote died because we know that there was a copy of him, like he drew a version of himself in order to interact with people because of his power. And I forgot exactly initially what his what his negator power was. People were telling me it's unknown, which obviously makes sense. Like, it just somehow I missed it, and but it obviously ties into fully of his backstory of his no one being able to see him, no one being able to know he's there, no one can just apparently figure out his entire existence because of his power. And I'm wondering if there's any form of artifact that could solve that. Like if you had maybe a pair of glasses that would let you see him or something, or maybe you had something that negated whatever your power is. Like maybe if it just whatever this series has for, oh yeah, well this is what we use to to completely halt somebody's powers for X amount of time or whatever, and they could put it on him. Like if it's literally just like a badge and he could put it on, can't use any of his abilities, but he can talk to people. But I mean, like, I don't really know what he would do, like, with his powers, because the only thing he could do is, like, he could be a really good assassin, because no one's gonna suspect him to be there at all. And I'm guessing, I wonder if he could touch people, too. I don't think that that's been shown that he can't touch things. Like, I think he just isn't seen or like, heard or anything. I don't think he's, like, a ghost. But the thing that is noted is that he's like the original version is still alive, but he had like during the process of having to draw that like one time artifact in destroying his body, like destroyed essentially the proxy body he had, and that destroyed the pen that he used to to have this form created. So now he's pretty much back to being alone. But I really liked how this chapter handled everything because with the Autumn Uma, I wasn't really too sure what exactly the level of fight was going to be in the focus. But the thing that I thought was, and on top of that, like it was set up with a really strong OP combo when you had Anti being able to have all these new upped abilities by pressurizing the blood in his attacks, but also the fact that he had Rip there, and Rip, hitting anything after he did would make it so you just can't regenerate from. He's locking any form of healing and regeneration. So again, hacks combo. And on top of that, like you have Izumo there, like I don't even have to go into like she has a very strong power. And then the little bunny kid just present there, always ready to perform and to do whatever their Rabbit mission is. Very happy that Rabbit Kid did not get hurt in this, and Rabbit Kid is going to be making it out of this arc. But it was way more focused on what I can't remember his actual name, but Ono-un. It's like Akira something. But like I was very happy that the chapter, it was way more of a character chapter on him essentially, less of a fight. Like the fight itself was way shorter. Like it wasn't like obviously close to as long as like the spoil Uma, but I thought that was actually done in a better way. Like this one rather, because we already know Andy's abilities. We don't need to see anything new from Rip at the moment. Like so maybe some of the other fights, like I would kind of want them to maybe be like at least like a fair amount of like cool scenes just on some of the characters that we haven't seen do a whole lot yet. Like I don't think I need like 3 chapters per Uma fight. Actually, I'm hoping just that little creepy one in the chestnut. If we can just get like 2 chapters from that one, or was it? I think the spring one. I think the spring one was that like badass looking Japanese one that was just kind of like sitting on a post that had all those flowers around it. That one looked cool. That one looked like a badass like opponent. Like it just some. This is the way that he looks, very intimidating, but he's in this like tranquil field. I think it looks really badass to him, and that alone makes me want to see his character more. The big water one, I like that one. Looks all right. Not a huge thing. I think that's the winter Uma, but I'm hoping that we at least get to see something from the other characters. That's what's more important to me rather than just seeing like fighting power level stuff. I just want to see what some of these other characters can do. And even if it's like a chapter each, that's still something. And even if like it's just like getting a scene from each character before they beat their Umas, again, that's also something I'd be pretty happy about. Like I just want to see character displays from these other guys. But the stuff with Ano Un, like again, I actually really liked how this chapter handled it, to where it wasn't about like, oh, like the character, we said died but not really died. It's like essentially his presence died, his connection to these other, his physical connection rather to these other characters, is gone because he can't communicate with them. He can't do anything. I'm wondering if he'd be able to like IM somebody, like if he could get on a computer and send him like a message. Could he just communicate people through like a forum or a chat room or something, or maybe like a video game? Because like if people can't hear him, like and like he can do like his manga and stuff. Like couldn't people, couldn't there be a way for him just to generally kind of communicate with people? I don't really know. Like I feel like he's tried a lot of his options, but I didn't see anything about a computer, and it's like maybe there's a way that he can just kind of figure out like a loophole in it. I don't really know. It's gonna be really rough if we just don't see this guy anymore, and maybe once in a while we just have the camera peer over to him, because even in the chapter he's drawn a little differently at the end in this panel, and I think that was done really well, just to have him feel odd in this whole setup, like everything in this in his exit in the series. Like there's a whole part where he's like talking about his whole like journey of like getting the pen and writing all these events that were to come so he can help people and prevent Izumo's death from unseen. And now like that he's like saying like that title was where his manga was called, like where that title came from, to you from me. And I thought that was just really nice. I really liked this mini like little character arc, and it was obviously like a really important character, and I didn't expect him to be outed like this. I thought his character was going to stick around for a little bit, but at the same time it was really like my big thing about him was like, how are they going to fit this character in the story if he knows everything, if he's able to communicate with them and just tell them like the stuff that happened in the future. Also, just as like a small thing, if you look at like Best Rabbit Kid up there, he's like jumping off the broom, and Latla, which again I said I was gonna like whenever I have one of those like I can't believe I can't remember one of these character names moments, I always end up at some point finding their name, and then whenever that happens it just brands itself into my memory. But like Latla, she's like trying to catch the Rabbit Kid, like he's just jumping off like happy he's got the core, and he's clearly not on anything. He's now just jumped into midair, and she's like, holy shit, what is he doing? I do like the Rabbit Kid. He's been making me laugh since his introduction so far. But like I said, it was much more of a character chapter like than anything else. Like I don't think there was anything otherwise like that special. Like even the action was like pretty fair. Like it was cool. You get to see a couple named attacks and whatnot. But it was way more about Ano-un and just generally like his influence on the series and his sad position of what he had to sacrifice in order to keep things moving, in order to do what he believed was his part in all of this. So, solid chapter. Again, I liked it a lot. I thought it was pretty good. Made me like Ano-un's character. I'm wondering if he's going to have any form of influence later. We'll see. But this Uma down, there's 3 more. I don't expect, again, there to be a long battle against the rest of them. If we get 1 chapter each for the other Umas, I'll be pretty happy. Like 1 chapter each is pretty optimal before getting into whatever the next battle is. Or maybe if it's like 1 chapter each, and then the last one is like the strongest one, and like characters kind of like group back up there and fight that one or something. Maybe one of them gets to be a longer fight. Either way, just like enough that we get like a fair amount of content from each of these other situations and not just kind of glossed over. I think that's the biggest thing that I want from it, is it's not just like, oh yeah, we beat all the other Umas, we're good now. Like, as much as it wouldn't be a big deal if we just kind of got back to what the other characters are doing. Like if after this chapter we got back to like whatever the next mission is, and it's like mission accomplished and whatever, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I'd still be a little bit iffed on it, because I know that like this is an important mission in general, and obviously the setup with stuff with Billy, so I want it to get a little bit more focus, and I'm hoping that it we can see it from the angles of also the underdudes that are now against the organization and fighting to try and be the ones in charge and ones in power and whatnot. Anyway, other than that, though, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this chapter, and tell me what your thoughts are about the series. Again, if there's anything that I missed, just comment. It's not a big deal. I enjoy Undead Unluck, But obviously, like I don't have every single like thing in the series like mastered. I still forget some people's names and like abilities and stuff. It's a process, and I read a lot of stuff, and Undead Unluck is in a fair spot where I always enjoy reading it, but it's not something that it's like I reread constantly. Like I'll usually like maybe look through a chapter, but obviously there are people that are way more knowledgeable in the stuff that's going on. They've ingrained this series as like one of their up and comings maybe, and I understand though. So I know there's always a time where if I forget something and then people get mad in the comments, it's like, stop, man, I'm getting it. Just give me time. Anyway, other than that though, comment below because I fully understand that upset. It's one of those things that you don't really get until you see it from both sides. It's like when people forget names of characters I'm like, how do you forget these character names? And then I'll forget a character name, and people are like, how the hell do you forget these character names or abilities or whatever? It happens. Anyway, other than that though, comment below, thumbs up the video, but friend the like button, subscribe button, and to check out my other videos. But I appreciate everybody who's already subscribed. Thank you all for listening. Bye.